Right, the first ring I ever made was in 1972. Made it out of a strip of silver. We didn't have anything to go by in them days, so it was just a strip of silver. Turned it up, soldered it up, folded it up. I barked it, which is like a pattern that you put on the ring. Didn't really know I was doing a bit of guesswork, but I actually wore that ring for a long time. I was very proud of it. And that was it. That was my first ring. Still got it. Probably the most valuable thing I own. And hopefully for Bob and Sarah to continue owning and keeping aside for one day. When I was trying to learn, my dad and me built a shed in about 1975. Big long shed, and put my bench in there, got me gas and my propane. There was no this health and safety lark. You just got on with it. Had all my tools, went to work, did a day's work, and every night come back home, go back out in the shed. And it's just a case of trying to get on in life, that's all it was. And I know that shed is still up now, which is great. Cleared my tools out, I reckon at about, around about 1981, and that's when I moved into Hatton Garden. So I went from working in some of the Bond Street workshops, as it were, to then move into the garden, then from the garden back to Bond Street. It was you had to go where the work was. In 2012, that's when we got Billericay. And when we moved in here, the shop needed a bit of help. So we've put our stamp on it. And then when we was fortunate enough to get Shenfield, which was about another 3 years on, I think it was, that same bench I still sit on today that I made when I was 21. But it stood the test of time, and I still make jewellery on it today, which is great. If you always do the very, very best that you can for every single one of your customers and treat them like your own wife. If I make a ring and it's good enough for my wife, it's good enough for you. That's how I see it. I'll do that with every single piece. They might have a mindset, they want it to look like this, they want it to look like that. No, let's do this and let's do that. I'll draw it, and then I'll present the drawing, make the ring, they come and collect it. And when they stand there and they cry their eyes out, I get choked up as well. Very emotional sometimes. Wow, very, very powerful. Jewellery, diamonds, it's not about a value. And I say this to every lad that comes into my shop. If you're going to get engaged, it's not how much you're spending on that item, it's a thought process. Get the thought process right. When I met Kay, if I'd have made her a ring made out of tin with a cherry in the middle, she'd have loved me to bits. Some guys come in and say, oh, is 15 grand enough? Is 10 grand, 5 grand enough? No, don't worry about that. If you're marrying the right girl, it doesn't matter what you do. If you're marrying the right girl and I make you a ring, she's going to love you to bits. Obvious thing to me in this business is to be 100% honest. There's no grey area. If someone comes in and asks me an opinion, I'll tell you the truth. Because all I want to do is that person leave with what I think looks right, either on your neck, your finger, whatever it may well be. It's all about doing the right thing for every single person that comes through that door. I would like other people, or everyone, to recognise the Lord of London business as the best caring jeweller around, period. I took on my son to learn the trade, and he is my last apprentice. Having taught 26, Bob is my last. But the future, as far as I'm concerned, is purely Lord family. That's how I see it. The little Lord of London empire, as it were, is very much a strong family-orientated business. If I can, we will. That's what you try to do for every single person that comes through that door.